Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zook with Zook Stitch here today with Saturday, September 12th, 2020. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. So I wanted to thank everybody so much. I've gotten a lot of emails and private messages that you're thinking about our state of Oregon, which is currently up in flames right now. So I do appreciate all your very kind messages. It means a lot that you're thinking about us here. It's been a week. It has been a week. Yeah, that's all I can say. I am fine. I am safe. I don't have to evacuate, as you can tell. I'm still in my home, which I'm very grateful for. I do have friends who have evacuated, and because that's what the orders were, so they have evacuated and they are safe. There are people have lost their lives. Entire towns have been demolished. 80% of towns have been demolished. And it's all over the state. They say that they haven't seen wildfires like these in 120 years. So it's been scary. It started, well, I don't know how it started. It started very suddenly, it feels like. On Monday, which was Labor Day, we had very strong windstorms, 65-mile-an-hour winds. I lost power at my house Monday night and didn't get it back till late in the day on Tuesday, which made it interesting to work with no power. But I managed. There's stuff you can do offline, and you just hope that your phone battery lasts. So I was without power, and then I feel like something happened Tuesday night, because I feel like it was Wednesday morning when I woke up and there were fires all over the state. Now, I haven't heard anything about what they think happened. Very strong winds, of course. We're in our dry season. It's always our dry season during summer, and so summer is wildfire season, so we are accustomed to this. But this is by far very, very bad. We've had a very quiet fire season, thankfully, up until this point. And it's all over the state. I know California is suffering. I know parts of Washington are suffering. I know Colorado. It's just kind of all over. And it's just, I'm tired. I've never seen this guy where I live in Portland. So I'm in North Portland. And I have not necessarily seen the sky like that. Like, you'll see some of the images where it looks like nighttime, at noon, or the sky is red. That hasn't happened at my house. I think I'm far enough away from the fires, but it very much feels like the smoke is very, very thick. It looks like we're in the dead of winter to me. It's kind of that really thick. And it's not just staying up in the air, it's going down to the streets. I think last night on the news, they said that Portland was at about 1.25 miles of visibility. And that's all due to smoke from the wildfires. Of course, other places were much worse, had much less visibility than we do. So all in all, I am safe. I am, because of COVID, I am still working from home, so I don't have to go out in this. The inside of my house does smell like a campfire, and I really notice it when I move from one room to the next. I think you just kind of get accustomed to the smell when you're in one room, and then you get up and move to another room, and then you notice it. So I especially notice it when I go downstairs. My windows are all closed up. The only exception is I have a window air conditioning unit in my bedroom, which I have not been running. But there's little tiny gaps when you have a window AC unit that just you can't cover. And so that definitely, I think that definitely has made kind of an impact in terms of how the bedroom smells. But I do have a fan set up in there, which definitely helps. So between the winds and the power outages and now the fires, it has been a very long, stressful week. We don't even know the aftermath, of course, because the fires are still, today is Saturday, the fires are still burning. The good news, there is good news in all of this, is that I heard last night on the news that the firefighters have now been able, I don't know all the terminology, but they're able to take an approach where they're actually fighting the fires rather than just trying to prevent either further spread or prevent homes from burning and that type of thing. So they're actually able to take a more active approach. They have not been able to this point do the drop the fire retardant from the air because they can't get the helicopters up in the air because the smoke is too thick. But there is good news. They are starting to be able to actually fight the fires instead of just watching it burn, which is scary when fires are so big. And I also learned that when fires get big enough, they can produce their own winds, which is even worse because then that, of course, spreads them further. And we are, and probably the best news of all, is we are expecting a little bit of rain coming starting Monday night and into Tuesday, and actually on and off throughout the week. Not a lot of rain, certainly not enough that will put out these fires on its own, but they are expecting some rain, which will be a relief. It will help clear some of the smoke out of the air. It will help the firefighters get a leg up. So thank you to the firefighters who are, a lot of them have left their homes and their families in the paths of danger, not knowing if they would have a home to return to as well to fight these fires. So I'm very grateful for them. I think that's all I want to say about that. But I appreciate your thoughts and your kind words and your very kind messages. It does mean a lot. So I appreciate that. So thank you. We have a wonderful, wonderful community here. And if you are also affected, please know that I am thinking of you as well. So let's just have some fun today and get into some Stitchy goodness and talk about cross stitch. So first up, I did have a finish, and some of you saw this on Facebook. I finished this on Labor Day, but I finished Harbor Haven Scene 11, which means I have one scene to go until it's finished. And I even took it off the Q snaps because so many of you have said, oh, I'd love to see it off the Q snaps. So let me show you first. This is such a long piece. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Lugana in vintage smoky white, and I love it. I'm doing 2/2. So this scene here is the one I just finished. Okay. And then I don't even know. So I'm a little nervous. Do you think it will fit one more scene here? I think it's going to be close. I think it will fit, but I think it's going to be close. So one more scene has to go here, and that's the edge of my fabric. I think we can do it. But here's from a distance, and then I'll kind of go slowly so you can see. You can see there's a sun in there. The lighting is very strange today because of all the smoke. And then there we are. So we have one scene left to do. So let me see if I can stand back so you can get an idea. I mean, I know you can't see each individual scene, but this is what it will look like when it's all done, and it is almost done. So I am super excited about that. I am, let me come closer to you. I am very excited. I am very motivated to finish this. I don't know necessarily that I'll pull it out this month. I might towards the end of the month. Whoops, I did that backwards. I wanted to show you again, kind of close up. Scene 11. At the end of this month, if I get all my other projects done first, I will definitely pull this out because next month is going to be quite busy. So I'm a little nervous about it, about finishing it, but we'll figure it out. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? So I love this. I love it so much. It's been such a project, and we'll be finished with it soon. So that is Harbor Haven number 11. Done. One scene to go. And that's by the Bay Needle Arts. I worked on my temperature tree. Let me pull that out. So this is what it will look like. This is by Stitching Mommy. She has PDFs on her Etsy site, and she just came out with a new one for next year. It's a typography one, so it will say January, and then you fill in the letters with the different temperatures. I don't know that I'm going to do another kind of daily temperature thing for next year. I just kind of want a little bit of a break from doing something every day, even though I only work on it once a week. But it will free up a lot of time because I have a lot of big plans for next year. So I will probably not do another one next year. But each branch represents a month, and each leaf represents a day. So what I did was I finished up, where are we? I think this one. Yeah, I finished up this branch. This was August. And I stitched the whole September branch and got caught up to wherever we were. I think I did this on Tuesday, maybe. So I did switch the direction of the Q snaps. So I finished up this one. You can see kind of how lots of the similar colors in there. That's about mid to high 80s. A lot of those colors are. And there were some warmer colors, in the mid 90s in here. This is like we had a couple days of 100 or 99. Yeah, so the September branch is done. This is the entire September branch. So now all I have to do for the rest of the month is go in and stitch those leaves, which takes me maybe half an hour each Sunday to work on. So it's not too bad. I couldn't figure out what was going on. So this is on a 32 count light blue Lugana, and I'm doing 2/2 on this. So that is Stitching Mommy. Temperature tree. And then the other thing I worked on this week, so this is for my WIPGO. This was drawn on my WIPGO board. This is on there twice. It was drawn once. Is Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I started this, I think, on the first day of spring this year. No, we started it March 1st, I think. I started way up here. I had that first motif about halfway done when I sat down to start on this. And this is where I'm at now. So I got this motif all done. I backstitched freesia. That says freesia. It's kind of hard to see, but in real life you can see it. I have this motif done, and I have this motif partially done. So that's what I've gotten done so far. So my goal for WIPGO is to do 10 hours on each piece that's drawn. So I have another maybe a little over 2 hours to go on this piece to finish it for this month, which I will finish up tonight. So I'll definitely get this done, and I don't know where I'll go from there. The only color I'm changing out is the words, because this uses Valdani floss, and I've talked about Valdani floss and how to use it in the past. But in the instructions it says you will use almost the entire skein of the Valdani floss, and it's the color that the words are in. And I thought, actually, I think Robin came up with this idea, or maybe Andrea. One of my friends, Stitchy friends, came up with the idea of just using DMC for the words. And then in case I have to frog or something happens with the Valdani floss, I'm not as worried about running out. So I think I'm using 317, and I'm using 2 strands. I did do 1 strand, and it just didn't show up very well. So it says freesia. So I'll be using 2 strands. And it's meant to just be, the words are just meant to be very light and not necessarily, they are clearly not the focal point of this. But so I'm okay with how, that it still seems pretty light. But I really like this. This is stitched on 28 count Valor linen by Picture This Plus. And this is just the called for. I bought the kit. And it's gorgeous. And I really enjoyed. This one was a lot because there was a lot of little changes in it. But then it did speed up quite a bit. And the Valdani floss is just really beautiful with its variegation and everything. So I love that. My goal on this whole piece is to get it done. You'll be seeing this piece quite a bit, I think. To get it done by the end of next year. So this will be kind of one of the pieces I focus on finishing for next year. And almost have this one done. But that's not bad. I think once I actually pay attention to it, it'll go a lot faster. So those were my WIPs from this week. And then haul. I forgot to show you a couple pieces of haul from last week. One was because I showed it to you, I just didn't point it out. It was on my Q snaps for Harbor Haven. This is a grime guard. It's an 11 by 17 grime guard. You see it's a pretty blue and it has daisies. Daisies are my favorite flower. It was funny because, so I decided that the fabric, for whatever reason, I mix around my Q snaps, and I had started out Harbor Haven on 11 by 17, and then at some point I moved it down to some strange size. I don't even know what size it was. And then the fabric got too much. So I thought I want to get back to an 11 by 17 size. But a lot of my grime guards are actually in storage because my house is on the market still. And so in my head, I jokingly thought, oh, if only Amazon sold grime guards, because I know they have really fast delivery. And then I thought, but I know somebody who has even faster delivery than Amazon, and that's Garon Stitchery. So I went, and not only did they have in stock an 11 by 17 grime guard, they had a blue one, which blue is my favorite color, with daisies, which is my favorite flower. So it was meant to be. And I looked for the matching bag and whatnot, and they didn't have it. But I am thrilled to have this. It was at my house within 2 or 3 days. So I've been using this. And it was on the Q-Snap last week. And I just forgot to point it out. So Garon Stitchery, fastest shipping in the world, I think. So I forgot to show that last week, but I did have that last week. The other thing I forgot to show was my Color and Cotton, let me take out of the bag, fabric of the month. I am in the Neutrals Club, and this doesn't have a name. It just says August 2020 Special Edition. I get Lugana 32 count, and this is a 17 by 26 piece. And it's just a beautiful, you can see the size, but let's see if we can get you a good, see if I can show you it's just a good neutral. I know that's the club I signed up for. But it's just it's like a light beige almost. It's kind of being washed out. Sorry about that. This fog is really hard. I don't know how to show it to you well. See if that helps. I don't know. So it's like a very light orangey beigey, if that makes sense. So that came last week as well. Don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but I like building up my stash of fabric. So that did come last week. I just had it in a different location. So I forgot to show it to you. So this week, I got a few things in the mail. So I showed this I showed last week that I got from Garon Stitchery. This is Casting a Spell by Blackbird Designs. I had ordered from Hobby Lobby, has this box that you stitch the pieces that go into it. The box came from Hobby Lobby. So I got this. So it's unfinished, so you do have to finish it. But they give you all the instructions in the chart on what color, how to finish it. And it just opens up like that. So I don't know when I'm going to start it. I don't necessarily have plans to start it this year, but I at least have the pieces to go with it. So I got this to go with this. And also, on the Hobby Lobby site, I was looking at, so I'm starting to think about, I have these few ornaments I do want to finish for this year, so I'm starting to think about how I want to finish them. And you'll remember I finished this. This is called Christmas Morning Goodies. I finished this a while ago, like maybe earlier this spring. It's very cute. So I'm thinking of, okay, how do I want to finish it? What kind of backing? They had a sale on some of their fabrics. Now, of course, they sell them in yard online. I don't need a yard of this, but I got this really pretty purple. Honestly, I needed like a fat quarter would have been plenty. But I thought that would be pretty for kind of like a backing fabric or something like that. So I will probably do that. It doesn't quite match. It looks a little better in person, but I think it will work for an ornament for this. So I'm excited for that. And it was $6 for a yard, so you can't beat that. And I'll figure out something else to do with the rest of it. It's pretty fabric for $6 for a whole yard. That's a great deal. And then I had ordered a while ago. Well, I got an extra thing of DMC floss for Harbor Haven because I don't know that I'll have enough of 3052. That's not very exciting. I got a couple of Krynics. They're actually different. You can tell the thread is different. This one is a Japan thread number 7, so it's a little thicker. It almost looks like a chain. This is for Elegant Pumpkins. The piece that I'm working on that I started for the September Magazine Monthly Challenge. So I'll just throw that in there. And then this is Kreinik. What is this one? Cord. It's just called Kreinik Cord. It looks pretty thin. There you go. So this came in the mail. And then when I was on the Kreinik website, I found these needles. They're really hard. They're just size 26 tapestry needles. But somehow they say that they are specially designed for metallics. So I thought I'd give them a try. The eye does not look any bigger to me than a normal eye. If you can see that. So I don't know that threading will be any easier, but we'll see. I figured I can give them a try and report back to you when I use italics for these. So I'm excited to try them. So that came from Kreinik. And then from 123 Stitch, I got these size 6 glass beads. This is for a project I'll be starting in October for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, which I will be telling you about later on, maybe towards the end of this month. But those kept going out of stock as well on 123 Stitch, but now they're in stock. So I grabbed those. And then the last thing that I bought, if you follow Stitching Jewels on YouTube, she's been doing Flosstube for a very long time, 5 or 6 years now. And she has she stitches such unique pieces. She does a lot of huge full coverage pieces. She's really, really interesting to watch. So I recommend, I'll try to remember to link her down below. And if she recently opened her own Etsy shop and is doing some designs. So I picked one up that I really liked, and I'll insert it here. I'm just calling it Pacific Northwest Poster. It is full coverage, but it's not super huge. And it seems like, I don't know, I haven't looked closely at the pattern yet, but it seems like it wouldn't be terribly confetti heavy, like Haid level confetti heavy. But we'll see. I just really liked it. I thought it would look great stitched up and put in a guest room. So I don't know when I'll start that, but I did really like it. I wanted to make sure I got it. So go check out her site. She has a lot of different types of projects on there as well. So I did pick that up. Okay, so now we are on to giveaways. So let me set that stuff down there so I can get to the giveaways. So last week we had a few giveaways. First up, I was giving away this Bent Creek. It's called Eek, with this cute cat. And Rose Stancil. Rose, you won this, so I think I do need your address. So go ahead and email me at czlookstitch@gmail.com. My email is always listed in the description box down below if you didn't quite catch it when I said it. So Rose Stancil, you won that. Give away this Prairie Moon Halloween in wood boxes. And Patty Smith, you won this, and I do have your address, so I will get that sent out to you. I am behind, just with everything happening on this week. I have not sent out charts in a week or two. So if you're expecting something, I haven't sent it yet. So I'm hoping I'll be able to send it this week. It's just one of those weeks. Okay, so those 2 charts. And then the other thing, I don't have anything to physically show you, but my friend Lynette, who lives in Australia, started her own Etsy shop called X Stitch and Hexagons. And so I was giving away a chart of your choice from her new Etsy shop. And Rachel Joy 7, you won that. So please take a look at X Stitch and Hexagons. Pick out a chart that you want. Let me know what email you want to send it to, sent to, and what chart you want. And between Lynette and I, we will figure it out because they're all PDF charts. So we will figure out how to get it to you. But let me know which one you want, and congratulations to you on that. But do check out Lynette's Etsy shop as well. She does great English paper piecing combined with cross stitch, and she gives really great clear instructions. So thank you to everyone who entered for those. Now, giveaways for this coming week. I have one that I haven't heard from the winner, so I'm going to put it back in the pile and give it away again this week. And I know we all get behind on Flosstube. I know I'm very behind on Flosstube, but after a couple weeks, I do just to keep things kind of moving, I do have to kind of redraw for it. So I apologize. I know sometimes people do email me after I've already redrawn, and I feel really bad, but I just have to keep these moving along. So I hope you understand. But so I am going to put this one back in. It's called Thanksgiving Blessing by Heart and Hand. It says, may blessing follow blessing and your heart be filled with thanksgiving, therefore. So if you'd like an opportunity to win this, say something about Thanksgiving. And watch out for that. And then we have a Jardin Privé called Stitch, and Forget the Time. Isn't that cute? Stitch, and Forget the Time. It's like a little Halloween scene, but it's also cross stitch related. So it's cute. So Time, Time, if you would like an opportunity to win this. And then this last one is another Cricut collection. This is called Plymouth Fellows. So we gave one similar away last week, or the week before, I can't remember. I still have it here. So it's cute teddy bears dressed up. That one's dressed up like a turkey. That one's dressed up like a pilgrim. So that's cute. So if you want a chance to win this, say Plymouth. 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 And that's the word I will be looking for. All right, so that's what we'll give away for next week. Now, plans. So plans I'll be working on, like I said, tonight I will be doing my last round of Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. So that will get at least 10 hours. I have a little over 2 hours to go. So I'll just make my whole stitching session tonight that. So if I get a little over, great. So that's tonight. I will be working on the temperature tree tomorrow, Sunday. I will be starting on the 15th. I'll be starting this piece. It's called Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. It says, oh, my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches, too. I really like this one. And I'm going to be starting this, and this is for one of my acrostics for Magazine Monthly Challenge. I realize this is not from a magazine, but with the acrostic part of it, you can make it fit and make it work however you want to. I was already planning on starting this month, and I'm trying to be really careful with not starting too much with the Magazine Monthly Challenge because I don't want too many kind of huge whips or even small whips because I have plenty to work on. I still have all the Jolly July ornaments and all of that. So I do want to start this. I was planning on starting it anyway, so I fit it into the acrostic. And so I said I was going to do 2 hours. So the acrostic for September is Leaves, Leaves. And I said I would do 2 hours for the L in Leaves, L for Lindy, of Lindy Stitches, and then 2 hours for the S in Leaves, S for Stitches, Lindy Stitches. So I will do this for 4 hours this week, starting on the 15th. And then in between all that, so in between spring Quakers, finishing that up for WIPGO, starting this to get my 4 hours in for the magazine monthly acrostic challenge. I'm going to be starting block 3, which is this one, of Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. The flowers appear on the earth. So my goal is to get this whole block done by the end of the month. So we will try to do that. I am hoping this one won't be as full coverage as some of the others, won't take as long, but we will have to see. So I will be starting that this week as well. I think that's all I have for you today. Again, if you are in an area affected by the wildfires, please know that we are thinking about you, and I do appreciate all the thoughts that have been sent my way as well. I will check in with you next week. Take care. Bye.